In today's video, we're going to be having a look at how you can play your own custom MP3 files on your Amazon Echo devices. Check it out. What's going on, guys? I hope you're all doing well. As you've probably guessed from the title and the intro to the video, today we're going to be having a look at how we can play our own MP3 files on the Amazon Echo devices. Have you ever wanted to give Alexa a custom voice or have her play one of your favourite movie quotes on a specific automation run? Maybe you just want to go all out and swap Alexa out for GLaDOS and have GLaDOS be the voice of your smart assistant. You could just randomly play GLaDOS quotes to freak out people in your house. For example, if motion was detected, you could play a random GLaDOS quote.
I know you're there. I can feel you here.
Or maybe you'd like Shrek to say goodbye to you as you leave your house. See you later. Well, all of that is now possible, so keep watching and I'll show you how to do it. This project's nice and simple and there's only a couple of things we need. First of all, we need a working version of HomeAssistant. This version of HomeAssistant needs to be publicly accessible, so you need to be able to access it through either Nabu Casa, DuckDNS or some other way. And I'll come back to the reason for this a little later on. Next up, we're going to need the Alexa Media Player integration. If you haven't already got this installed, go ahead and install that. And if you're not sure how to do it, I made a video on how to do this a little while ago, so go and check that out and then come back here when you're done. And the last thing we're going to need is just some MP3 files, and these MP3 files have to be converted in a specific way, but we'll be coming back to that in a little while. As always, guys, this video is going to be chaptered, so feel free to make use of the timestamps in the description below. I'm going to start off by just talking about how you can make your own MP3 files or how you can obtain them from a couple of different online resources. I'll then show you how to convert the files using a simple online converter to make them Amazon friendly. And then we'll have a look at a couple of different scripts and automations to make use of these files. Okay, so what do I mean by play our own MP3s? When I say our own MP3s, I literally mean anything that you want to put into an MP3 file and can be played as an MP3, you can play. There is a very small catch with this, and it's just that the MP3 has to be exported to a specific codec, and it can only be a max of 48 kilobytes per second. But for the purposes of this video, and how I'm going to be using it, that's going to be more than enough. I'll have a link to this page in the description below, and this is just the Amazon developer page, and on here it just details those different codecs and the different export options you need for the MP3. For this video, we're going to be making use of a simple online converter, so we're not going to need to worry about the conversion or the codec or anything like that. All we're going to need to do is make sure that our file size, that the playback time is less than 240 seconds. You don't have to use the online converter, it is optional, so if you're happy enough to just convert those files yourselves, then go ahead. It's also worth noting here that because of that low bitrate, it's not really ideal for playing music. I mean, you can do it providing it's less than 240 seconds, but it just doesn't sound great. We're going to be using it primarily for spoken sounds, some movie quotes, and some short sound effects. Just a little shout out here to Florian on the HomeAssistant forums. They provided me with some tips and pointed me at the Jovo Tech audio converter. So massive thank you to you. We're going to start off by looking at some software that you can make use of to create your own MP3 recordings. If you didn't know, this is Audacity and it's a free to use program. You can use this tool to just record your own voice or some simple sentences. It's super simple to use. All you're going to need to do is make sure you've got your microphone plugged in and that your microphone's selected in this drop down here. You then just want to hit that big red record button and record your audio. We've got our audio here. We could play around with this a bit in Audacity. We could clean it up, make it a bit louder, add some effects to it. I'm not going to go into details on how to do those things because that's not what this video is about. But you can do those things, and if you're interested, you can just go and look those up. So this is the audio I want. I'm just going to chop off this end bit because I don't want it. It's just a case of selecting it and hitting delete. We can then just press File, and we're going to choose Export, and then we're going to export this file as an MP3. So that's one way that you could record audio yourself. You could also record the audio on your phone or any other kind of recording device. As long as it's an MP3 and is less than 240 seconds, you'll be fine. We're now just going to have a look at a site called 101 Soundboards, and this is just a site full of different sound effects and voices. Again, you don't have to use this one, you can use any one you want, but this is just a cool one that I found and it just works well. On 101 Soundboard, you can search for a specific game or a film or an actor. There's tons of stuff on here. So do a test, find one that you want, and then you can actually test out all these sounds in the browser. So let's just say I want this one here, I can just click it. That will then play in my browser, and if I decide I like that one, I can just scroll down to the bottom, I can tick this enable downloading, and then I can just press this download button here. Then I can just choose to save this. I'm just going to put this on the desktop for now. Okay, so we've now got our custom recorded MP3 file, or an MP3 file that we've downloaded from somewhere on the internet. We're now going to make use of the Jovo audio converter, and again, this is a free tool that we can use. This tool is going to just handle all the business of turning our MP3 file into an MP3 file that the Amazon Echo is happy to play. This tool is going to handle all that conversion for us, so we're not going to need to export the files in any particular way. We can just give this tool an MP3 file and it will handle the rest. One really cool thing about Jovo is you can actually upload multiple files and convert multiple files at once. So if you've got quite a few MP3s that you want to get converted, you can do them all at the same time. Let's convert our files then. So we're just going to click on this outline box here. It's then going to ask us to choose the file that we want to convert. So navigate to wherever you've stored your file. Mine's just here on the desktop, so I'm going to click it. That's then going to upload the file and automatically convert it for you. Once that's finished, you'll see this URL and the little play button here. You can press that play button to make sure you're happy with the quality of your file and make sure it sounds how you want. And if you are happy, you can just click the 3 dots and just download that file. If you've got SAMBA set up on your HomeAssistant, you can choose now to save this file directly to your public folder in HomeAssistant. You don't have to use SAMBA, but it's going to save you a little bit of time. If you're interested in getting SAMBA set up, I created a video a little while ago for 5 add-ons for HomeAssistant beginners, and one of those add-ons is SAMBA. What we could do here then is just find our mapped HomeAssistant drive. So in my case, it's just here, and I can navigate to my www folder. And in there, I've just created a file called MP3's. I can just choose this file here. I'm then just going to rename the file just to make it a bit easier to reference. So I'm going to take off these auto-generated characters here and just hit save. So that's how we'd save it directly to HomeAssistant using SAMBA. Let's just quickly have a look at the manual way of doing it, just in case you haven't got SAMBA installed. To do this manually, we're going to need to open up the file editor in HomeAssistant. Once we're here, we're just going to go to the file browser and we're going to find that www folder. So just scroll all the way down to the bottom. Then you want to just select that folder. In here, you might want to make a new folder just to hold those MP3s, just to keep everything neat and tidy. To create a new folder, you want to just hit this new folder button up at the top. You then want to just choose your MP3 folder. You then want to just drag and drop your converted MP3 file directly into this folder, or hit the upload button at the top, and then just choose the location of that file. So just navigate to wherever that is and just hit OK. And you'll then see your MP3 file in that list. The next thing we need to do is just test that we can actually access our MP3 file publicly. To do this, we're just going to open up the public instance of our HomeAssistant. We're then going to navigate to that MP3 file. That's going to look something like this. So it's going to be your public URL, followed by local, followed by MP3, followed by the name of your MP3 file. If that worked, you should be greeted with a media player tool, and you should be able to just hit play and hear the audio you uploaded. Just make a note of that URL because we'll need it in a minute. At this point now, we should have our converted MP3 file, and that file should be saved under our www folder in HomeAssistant. We're then going to want to head to the developer tools. So we're just going to press developer tools in the side menu here. At the top then, we're going to want to make sure we're in the services tab. The service that we're going to want to call is the Notify Alexa Media. So if we just start typing Notify at the top, you should see the Notify.Alexa Media Player option. So just press that. As always, all of the YAML that I use in the video is going to be in the description below, so just feel free to copy and paste that straight in if you want. Now that we've pasted that in, let's just quickly run through what the YAML's doing. So we're using the Notify Alexa Media service. We're then passing in a message, which is going to be our MP3 file, and we're also targeting a specific echo. For the target, you're going to want to set this to be the echo that you want to play the MP3 file on. In my example here, I'm going to play it on the downstairs echo. We're then also going to want to set the data and the type to be TTS. If you want some more information on the Alexa text-to-speech or how some of those other notifications work, I've also created a video on that, so go and check that out. If we quickly jump back to the Jovo tab, you might remember that we had this URL next to our media. So when you upload a file to Jovo, it's available for 24 hours and it's accessible via that URL. Let's just copy that URL now and test it works on our Echo. Back then into the developer tools. In the audio source here, we're just going to swap this MP3 out and we're just going to paste in that Jovo URL. You can then hit call service and you should hear that MP3 file play on your chosen Echo. And you might remember at the beginning I said that your HomeAssistant needs to be publicly accessible. And this is just because the way that the Alexa notification service works, and it has to have this public URL. It would be nice if you could just pass in the local file path and use that. In all of the tests that I did, if I used any local path, the Echo would just play an alert message and it would just say, sorry, I'm not sure, or sorry, something else. If I've missed something and there is a way of doing it locally, then let me know in the comments below. As I said, Jovo only holds your files for 24 hours, so we're going to swap this URL out for our own. Once you've swapped that URL out for your own, you should now be able to play any MP3 files that you've stored on your Home Assistant. Once you've got everything working in the developer tools, that's all the hard work done. You can now start messing about with this and finding cool ways to integrate this into your automations and scripts. So this is a super simple one. We've got a window and door sensor, and when that closes, it's going to cause an action. And that action is just going to call my Shrek Goodbye MP3, and it's going to play on the kitchen Echo. So that's pretty cool. We can have Shrek say goodbye to us every time the door closes, which I'm guessing a lot of you actually want. Now that is pretty cool, but it's just going to play the same MP3 file every time that action happens. Let's have a look at a way to randomize this so we get a different phrase whenever the action happens. Here's a little script that I've put together, which is going to play a random GLaDOS quote. This will be in the description below, so feel free to copy and paste it and amend it to your needs. In this script, we've got a data template which contains a message, and within that message, we've got a list of different MP3 files that we want to be able to play. So in here, you can list as many as you want, and they're all just comma separated. So if we wanted to add another one on, we just need to add a comma at the end, and then just add in our new audio source. This bit here is going to tell the message to choose a random option from the above list. It's then going to play that randomly chosen item on whichever Echo you've chosen. Back in our MP3 automation then, let's change this up to make use of that script we've just created. So we're just going to scroll down to our actions, and we're just going to remove this action. We then just want to add in a new action to call our random GLaDOS phrase script. So let's add the action now. So we'll go add action, and we're going to just call the service. So in our case, it's just going to be script.random GLaDOS phrase. And if we just hit save now when we run this, we're going to get a random GLaDOS phrase, and the more phrases you add to that list, the more chance you're going to have of it being random. Let's just quickly test it out.
Well done. Remember, the Aperture Science Bring Your Daughter to Work Day is the perfect time to have her tested.
And there we go. You should now hopefully be able to create these custom MP3 notifications yourself. If you do know a way of accessing the MP3s locally and playing it through that notification service, then let me know in the comments below. Also let me know in the comments below what you plan on making with these custom notifications. If you have enjoyed this video and it's helped you out, then don't forget to drop me a like rating. If you're not already and you're interested in seeing more content from me, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and if you ding dong that notification bell, you'll be alerted to any future videos that I do. A massive thank you to my awesome Patreons. Thank you for supporting my channel. If you're interested in joining these awesome guys and helping support my channel, there'll be a link to my Patreon in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.